everyone. Welcome back to episode 3 of Blackbox Diaries with Chris and Bailey. And today we have our guest speaker, Stacey, who works for Wiz right now. She's a security operations analyst and one of my good friends. And so I'm excited to have her on. How are you doing, Stacey?
Oh, I'm super stoked to be here. I feel definitely intimidated being here with you two. You guys are like OGs in the industry, and I'm like not new, but new-ish analyst. Like, what are we gonna talk about?
I know you and I were talking at the beginning of before we actually started recording about we've got all of this stuff and, I'm posting a lot of stuff and Chris is posting a lot of stuff, but you've got some amazing content too. So I definitely want to get into that. Chris, how are you doing today?
You know, I'm exhausted actually. Two
Same.
businesses. Yeah, two businesses and recording podcasts and like family stuff, kids being sick and all of that. But it's, life is life. And then, coming into the back end of the year with a little bit of a closeout of conference season, I guess you've got Ace of CyberCon, Bailey's paying for dinner, so that's cool. And doing a keynote there, so excited to see that. But overall, not too bad. I can't really complain. Busy business is good business, right?
Yeah.
Well, at least it's better than your description of me before, saying that I looked like I rolled out of bed in the last episode, and now I'm wearing a hat to cover up my hot mess express today. So I'm feeling very confident. I'm 2 for 2
Well,
now.
it's not really an insult. It's more of a compliment that you keep it real.
Hey, there you
Hey,
go.
fair enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, like there's
Um,
no filters here. It's just like, no, we are what we are. Take it
yeah,
or leave it. Yep.
yeah,
It is what it
that's
is,
fair. So
to
you
be
said
honest.
CyberCon, so you want to talk about conferences because it's definitely conference season. I know Stacey, you went to DEFCON recently, but do you want to give us a little intro about who you are and how you got into cybersecurity? Because you said you were new, and so we definitely want to look at what does transitioning into cybersecurity look like right now?
Yeah, so I'm a career transitioner, is what I label myself, and I truly am. So I broke into cyber only about like 4.5, 5 years ago. And it was honestly like by necessity. And I'm so thankful it happened. But um, the reason I chose cyber was because of opportunity. So I got married really young and started a family. And then like right before I turned 30, I got a divorce. And so I had to re-enter the workforce. And so my goal was to make like $15 an hour so I didn't have to move back in with my parents. And I wanted to stay independent with my boys. And so initially I found a job working at 911. And it was such a mess. I was a mess. They were a mess. It was like not beneficial to anybody. I was working night shift, 12 hours. It was just I wanted more. I needed something different. And so I did what like most 30-year-olds do is go on Facebook and be like, like, how do I get a different job? And trying to see like what other people were doing. And I know one of my options was nursing, but that required like I had to go back to school and get like a real degree and stuff. And that just wasn't my vibe. And plus I couldn't touch people. I'm like one of those people who like you throw up, I throw up, you get grossed out, I get grossed out. It's like, again, not beneficial for anybody. So online, I live in Augusta and it's near a military base. It's a signal base. And so a lot of people were like hyping up like, oh, you can get a contracting job on base, but all you need is your security plus. You don't need a 4-year degree. And so I was like, okay, let me check this out. And so I ended up enrolling in a cyber boot camp and I got exposed to all these different things. And initially, my goal was to get a job on base as a contractor. What ended up happening is I landed a contracting job for a managed detection and response agency as a phishing analyst. And it was kind of a gross job. Like when they offered it to me, they're like, hey, are you interested in applying for this? I was like I had never heard it. Like I didn't know a full-time phishing analyst was a thing. It wasn't with the company. Like I wanted to work for the government, but I wasn't in a position to be picky. Like I didn't have the luxury to be like, no, thank you. No, I needed to say yes. And I did. I figured, hey, I can leverage this experience and then, get a better job later. And so that's what I did. I got a contracting position. I worked at it for 3 months, and then I was able to get a full-time position in their SOC. And then I stayed there for about like 2.5 years. And then I eventually left and moved to the company I'm at now, which is Wiz. And then that brings me to today, where I'm talking with y'all.
That's pretty comprehensive. What I will do as well though is I want to shout out to honestly mums in general. Like the stuff that you guys go through, like with trying to transition back to the workforce, raising kids, body changes, self-esteem, like everything. Like it's ridiculous, and you guys are the strongest people. Like to be honest, I have nothing but respect for moms, and in particular, like you guys, my wife, like everybody. My wife is like one of the strongest people I know. Like the stuff that you guys go through, and I think like you hit the nail on the head because a lot of people they can't really figure out what they're going to do after they have a family. Like, how do you go back to the workforce? But at the same time, from a cybersecurity perspective and an IT or an industry perspective, we're not really mature in welcoming people back to the workforce or encouraging them to do that. And I think cybersecurity is one of those things where we are getting better at it, and it is something that I'm seeing a lot of uptake for because, as you say, you don't really have to go back to university. You don't really have to go to
Mhm.
TAFE. You can kind of just do it and learn it. So yeah, full respect. I respect that a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Because I always think of people that say, like, oh, well, cybersecurity isn't an entry level job and blah, blah, blah. But there are a lot of people that are just like, I'm just going to do cybersecurity. Like, I'm just going to do it. I'll figure it out along the way. I'll go get my security plus. Like, that's what I did. Like, I had no technology background whatsoever. And I was like, I'm just going to go get my security plus so I can do this thing for the government. And so like there's a lot of stories like that. So I totally agree that I feel like the cyber field is tremendously adverse to letting new people come in, and but there's a facet of that there are like either there's a really good community or there's a really bad community. Like there's no in between. Like you're either part of a community that just completely doesn't want anybody new, or you're part of like the very like welcoming, hey, we're going to mentor you, we're going to do all of these things. There's no gray area. You're pretty black or white. So
Wow. That was like the most roundabout way of dividing everybody into boomers and non-boomers that I've ever heard. So to be
You
honest,
can't sit with us.
yeah, like, to be honest, because in all honesty, like that is what it is. Like, and just call it what it is. I don't really care. Like the majority of the people that gatekeep in the industry and the majority of the people that don't want you to break into the industry are the people that have been here for like many, 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 many years, and they don't like the fresh perspective because it's like trying to go to an engineering company and talking to like an electronics engineer and telling them how important cybersecurity is. They don't want to listen. It's like the people that have been here for like 30 years. I remember cybersecurity, was such a big thing back in like 1995. Like, shut up, dude. But yeah, like it's like yeah, back in my day, yeah, okay, cool. Well, it's not your day anymore, dude, and we've got AI now. So, but they're the people that gatekeep, in all honesty, and they're the same people that that shout out and say, "Oh, we have a skills shortage, we have a skills gap, we have all of this." No, we don't. Like, we just have people that don't want to accept other people from different walks of life and upskill them, right? I'll always say, like, one of the things that I love doing is taking people from other parts of IT or the corporate world and training them in cybersecurity. Because if you look at policy and governance and risk and things from a business perspective or a general IT perspective, there is no reason why you can't flip on a switch and start looking at that from a cyber perspective and just uptake the cyber side of things. One of the things that I love when hiring and upskilling people, and one of the mentalities that I take is that you can always teach technical competence. You can teach somebody to pen test. You can teach
Yeah.
somebody to do networking. You can give training and provide certifications. But I can't teach you a personality. Like if you're a dickhead, you're a dickhead. It is what it is.
No, I
So
mean, you're totally spot on. And you know what? Like, you talk about finding a community, and I think it is really important to find your people, because this industry is hard. The job is hard. But it's really enjoyable, and it's actually really fun when you find your community. And man,
yeah.
like, you get in with a good group of people, and they're gonna like Bailey's one of my people, like uplift me, give me advice, like, just kind of share that knowledge. And granted, not everyone is like that, but when you find your people, just treasure them, I feel like.
A
Yeah.
100%. Sorry, go Bailey.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, so like mine and like I had seen Stacy on LinkedIn like every so often, but we really started like communicating a lot more when a group of, it was mostly like network engineers and stuff from like the Cisco side, like Alexis Berdolf, like she's the one that's like the big like networking engineer person on LinkedIn. And so we all kind of band together and did this 100-day challenge of posting at the beginning of the year. And so that's where Stacy and my relationship like kind of
Mhm.
solidified more, because we were with this group of people where we were all sharing the same goal. It was really exhausting because not only are we working our day jobs, but now we're like trying to find some creative like crap to put online. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm sick. Oh, it's Saturday. Like I literally did nothing today. But it's like that kind of community where you kind of rally around like the pain points. And it's especially in cyber because like I feel like everybody's burnt out. It doesn't matter if you were burnt out last year or now or will be next year, like everybody experiences it. So I band to people that are experiencing the same kind of pain as me, because it's like, okay, well, let me bounce an idea off of you and let me, like share like this frustration that I'm dealing with today. I think that is a lot. I'm sorry, Chris, but like you're right. I did differentiate like an older crowd versus people that have just entered the industry. Now my cheeks
A
are
hundred
getting red
percent.
too, because I know you're right. And now I
It's
feel
a
called out.
no, but it's true, and I mean, like, to support that, I had to say people who have been in the industry for like 30 years, because if I said 20 years, I'm kind of bundling myself into that. No, I'm not like that. So I
Different.
inflated a little bit, but like I love training people and helping people learn. Like, I do. It's probably to my detriment from a business perspective. Sometimes I just do engagements for free because I like helping and I like just teaching people. So like if I do, a pen test for a company, sometimes I bring their security guys along. Like, yeah, like come and learn. Like let's do it together. So then, then they don't pay me for a pen test the next year, but like that's cool. At least I trained somebody and I had fun doing it. I made a connection. But what I got out of what you said, Bailey, is it's really nice to have friends. So I'll live vicariously through you guys because I don't really have any. So that was really cool for you to kind of point out and kind of make me realize how lonely I am outside of my family.
Oh,
So
whatever.
no,
Oh
I'm
my gosh.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No,
No, no, you know what? But it's so for real, because when you do see like another woman who is like technical, um you almost immediately kind of feel a kinship with them, because like there's just not a lot of us. And I mean, there's sometimes in different
yeah,
spaces there can be more, but the reality is there's just not a lot of women who are like technical. And so I think that makes me, like, when I find someone, like when I found Bailey, like I kind of like held on to her and I'm like, you're not getting free of me. Like, we are being friends and we are cheering for each other. And so you talk about being lonely, but no, sometimes it can be really isolating in some of these spaces to just look around and be like, wow, I'm completely different than everyone here.
Yeah,
yeah,
especially when you work from home too, and now you're physically alone. Except like I work like right next to my husband, and sometimes I just want to like punch him in the face because he's like on a meeting and I'm on a meeting, and I'm like, can you
Oh,
shush?
wow.
Like, get out.
yeah.
um,
That's fair. That's fair. And I will say, you did nail that because like unfortunately Bailey's personality is kind of infectious. Like you kind of just want to be her friend, and it's a lot to be honest. Like, but I
I'm a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah, like, but here we are, and but no, like Bailey's awesome, and but I am interested, in you said that you've only been doing this for sort of like 4 years, 4.5 years. If I'm being completely honest, that kind of does make you a veteran by modern day cybersecurity standards, like because there's a lot of people that have only been doing cybersecurity for the past sort of like 2 years or post-COVID, because a lot of people upskilled in COVID, like, oh, what am I going to do? I want to work from home. What's the best work from home job? Pen testing. Um, yeah, I can do that. Google how to be a pen tester, and then that's how they did it. But and then companies like mine come in and do a real pen test, and we fix what they couldn't do. But the enhancements with AI and AI capabilities and everything like that these days as well is making it a lot more accessible to people to enter the field. Granted, I'm not super big advocate of AI backed knowledge
Mhm.
in the context. I think it's a tool that we can use to enhance what we do and maybe spitball ideas. But what I guess where I'm going with that is what's next for you for like what's your plans going forward? What do you want to do?
Yeah. I'm super blessed to work for this like really awesome company. And right now what I do for Wiz, I work in corporate security. So that's like end users. We call them wizards if you work at Wiz. And so I protect like, help guard their endpoints and do triage for that and do like SaaS application reviews and stuff like that. What I would really like to lean into, and I've been really blessed because they've been letting me shadow product security, which
Mhm.
is deals with more with cloud, cloud and AI. And so that's where I hope to grow into. And I feel like I'm at a really good company to evolve there. So we'll see what happens. Again, they've been really supportive of like talking to my managers and telling them like what
Mhm.
I'm interested in and then giving me the opportunity to work, with product security and see how their side of the house works, because it's all in the cloud, has been really interesting. So fingers crossed I can make that pivot, but we'll see. I mean, that's one of the great things about pivoting into cyber though, because like literally the opportunities are endless in this field and there's always something new to learn. But then it's also kind of like, right, it's a double-edged sword because the opportunities are endless and there's always something new to learn. So it's like it's the best of both worlds, I guess.
That's 100% true. I do have another question. It's probably going to throw you a curveball, like out of curiosity. When coming into the field and when trying to upskill and learn and get to where you are currently, what would you say were probably the three biggest roadblocks that you had to get to where you are? And how did you deal with it?
Yeah. Okay. Fear is like the biggest roadblock. And I know that sounds corny, but no, it can be terrifying, especially like if you let the voices inside your head like really get to you, especially when you're an analyst. It's like you can't be crippled by fear. You need to make a decision, whether it's the wrong decision or the right decision. Obviously, you hope it's the right decision, but you can't be paralyzed by fear. You have to take action. And I've seen that happen to analysts where like they get in their head so much and afraid of making a wrong decision, are afraid of taking like something scary like a malware, something scary that maybe not is not known to them, and then it like stops their growth, right? Because they're not taking any new things, they're not challenging themselves. So I think being able to overcome your like self-doubt and fear and just kind of like be uncomfortable, like being okay with being uncomfortable is really important. And then I think another huge power up that I was able to really take advantage of is I said for like the longest time, I said yes to everything. Like, Stacey, do you want to go on nights? Yes. Stacey, do you want to do a round of threat hunting? Yes. Stacey, do you want to do handoff? Yes. And so in the beginning, I was just collecting as many experiences as I could just so I could have that exposure. And especially being kind of like, on the poorer side before entering cyber, it's like I knew, like just in general, in life in general, like experiences are things that no one can take away from you. Like you can't repossess experiences. And so I kind of applied that kind of just like life logic to the workspace. Like, hey, I might get passed up for a promotion or, not chosen. But, these experiences that I'm like collecting, no one can take away that like round of nights that I did. No one can take away all the shift handoffs that I did. And so I kind of started accumulating all these things. And then it kind of compounded, right? Then all of a sudden I got offers to do other sorts of things because why? Because I said yes to the other thing. And so honestly, I think you asked for three, but I really think those two are the biggest things that helped my career and helped me stand out as an individual. And then lastly, I would just say, just leaning into who I am. I mean, I'm a girl. I like lashes. I like my nails. I like sparkles. I'm just me. And honestly, I think that helped me stand out too, right? I'm a little bit memorable compared to some of my other counterparts, and so I just leaned into that. And so instead of trying to make myself smaller and look like and act like everyone else, I just leaned into being me. And so I think together that really helped me stand out, make an impression, be memorable. And yeah, I think probably a collective of those three
That's
things.
it. That
I
is an
love
interesting
that.
thing. Yeah, well, that is an interesting thing. Like leaning into being yourself is a super important part, particularly in 2025 when personal branding is such a big thing as well. Like you get known for your personality now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, actually, side note, I also get complimented on my lashes because they're naturally long, and I get lots of
Oh, I'm
ladies
so
saying
jealous.
like,
Mine are
yeah,
not.
lots of
Why
ladies are
is it
like,
always the men that have like the
yeah,
beautiful lashes?
Always. I
yeah,
The
yeah, and
know,
women
they
are
always
but
say like,
fighting for their
whatever.
lives out here.
I always say I have to pay for lashes like that. I'm like,
I
well, I don't.
do.
And like I just bat my eyelids like, and everybody's
Whatever.
like, geez, yeah. Anyway, what you did say though that was interesting is like about the skills part, right? So I don't know if you guys have read The Diary of a CEO or if you watch the podcast or anything. If you don't, you
Some
really
of the podcasts, yeah.
100%. Yeah, you really should. But the book is absolutely top tier. And one of the things that they talk about, or that Stephen Bartlett talks about, is the 5 buckets of success and how you should frame those 5 buckets of success, which is knowledge, skills, network, resources, and reputation. And the reason that you have those things is you should invest the majority of your time building what he called like the concrete foundations, which is your skills and your knowledge. Because the network and the resources and the reputation, they can be taken away anytime, but what somebody
Hmm.
can't take away from you is your skill and your knowledge. So you can always rebuild yourself based off of what you know and how you apply it. So those are the two biggest things you should always invest in yourself is your skills and your knowledge. So saying yes is a bit of a trap to be like constantly saying yes, but at the same time, a lot of people who do it end up advancing their skills and their knowledge quite substantially and then subsequently increase their value.
Yeah,
So
especially at the beginning of your career. I mean, you literally don't have anything to lose, and at that point in your career, you don't have anything to barter with much either. And so it's like it's really a win. And because the biggest, I think the thing everybody looks for in their candidates is experience, right? And there's like no faking experience. And I mean, I guess some people do, but I mean, at the core of it, there's just really no faking it. And so like if you can collect those experiences, I mean, that's such a power up.
I'm like the
100%. I
worst
mean, like,
human being in the world when it comes to saying yes. And it's not because I'm trying to upskill and it's not because I'm trying to appease people. It's because I have a mental health condition that requires me to say yes to nearly everything. I don't know what's wrong with me. And people always ask, like, how do you do it? And I'm like, I don't.
You're like, I can't say no.
ah, that's so good. I will take advantage of that now. So like next time I subcontract you or get you to do some work for me and be like, can you do it for free? And you'll be like, yeah, for sure, a
Don't
hundred
tempt
percent.
me. Don't tempt me.
100%. But like, I think it definitely is something because I did a lot of that at the start of my career as well. But I think some of the roadblocks for me when I started IT when I was quite young. So I was like, I was really shit at school, to be honest. And so like my school actually did this really cool thing when I was younger. And I'm not talking like younger, like the 80s or something. This is like the 2000s anyway. So they created like this essentially kind of like trainee program. So I became like the network administrator for my school 3 days a week. And then I only had to go to classes 2 days a week. And then I
Oh,
basically left school with like a certificate for an IT and I only had to do 6 more months to get a diploma. So then I skipped uni and I went straight into the workforce at like 20 years old
oh
and
wow.
19, 20. And so I was working full time, earning, I don't know, it was like 40 grand a year or something. But for a 20-year-old that never had a job because I just lived at home, that was, yeah, I was making bank and I was very drunk for a long time, but it was like yeah, now I don't drink at all because yeah, but I think like saying yes to everything kind of increases the ability to acquire knowledge and to learn. But if you're very early in your career, I can see the intimidation part as well. I dealt with a lot of roadblocks with people that had been around for a lot longer than me who didn't want to trust me because I was younger or because I hadn't had 20 years of experience like them, even though I could, I pretty much knew more than them in some instances because of what I'd been doing and what I'd learned, if not the same stuff. But I was on par with like working with people that were like 15 years older than me, but we were the same job, and they would like try and micromanage my work and everything like that. So you do have to balance it a little bit, but don't be scared of speaking up. Like I think we live in a world now where speaking up and saying, "Hey, man, like that's not cool," or "I know what I'm doing," and backing yourself is 100% something you should do.
No, like to your point, like that was something actually that took me a good year and a half maybe to really kind of master. And I wouldn't even say master it, is like like I didn't know how to speak up. And one of the things that I would do, and it would like frustrate me, like I had to proactively stop doing it, is I would apologize. I would apologize for everything. I would be like, "Hey, can someone help me? I'm so sorry. Hey, I have a question. I'm so sorry. Hey, can you explain this to me? I'm so sorry." Like I would get frustrated with like, stop apologizing, Stacey. Like you have every right to ask a question. You have every, I mean, like they're your seniors, like they're a senior for a reason. This is part of their like kind of job, like you earned a spot in this SOC at the table. Stop apologizing. That was something I proactively had to change about the way I communicated, because it just was weakening my stance and like my authority and my confidence. So no, that I understand how hard it can be for some people, and it was super hard for me. And so I definitely, I feel for people.
No, I think like the
Yeah.
thing that you need to do that's going to advance you faster is asking questions.
Hmm.
And don't be sorry for asking questions.
Yeah.
Like, I always, I always still believe in like that there's no stupid questions, right? But because like if somebody's asking a question, they have a genuine interest in knowing.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I should caveat that because man, there are some dumb questions. But anyway, like, yeah, I'll probably caveat that. There are some dumb questions. Like, can I stick my finger in the PowerPoint? Like, that's a dumb question. That's an example of a dumb question, right? But, but again, I don't stop me from ruining your experience. Try it for yourself.
Hmm.
Um, but like, I think you should definitely ask questions, and that's something that junior people these days, or people trying to break into cybersecurity, they are really intimidated about asking questions. You know, but there is a catch to that, or there is the other side of the coin of that, is that there are also, as Bailey inadvertently mentioned, boomers who don't want to answer questions, right? And they want to gatekeep, and that is unfortunately something that does happen in the industry. And realistically, if there is, I'll put this out there: if there's somebody in the industry that is gatekeeping or talks down to you, anybody who's listening or anybody who is interested, tell me who it is, because I'll reach out to them and I'll say,
Set them
hey, just
straight.
got a question.
Yeah.
Why you a dick? But yeah, so like we,
Accurate.
I'll help you address it. Like that's no problem for me, because I hate that. Like but similarly at the same time, I'll put it out there that if anybody has any questions, or they want to learn about cybersecurity, or they want to know something, reach out to anybody on this podcast today, and we'll answer them, because we all love helping people.
Right, right. And speaking of the saga of boomers versus non-boomers, there's some news that has come out about the collective group of teens and early 20-year-olds that have now decided to defy everything that is the hacker community and the APT community. Chris, I know you had some insight on that, so why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Oh yeah. So I will say that the Huntrix from K-pop Demon Hunters is not the only supergroup to be released this year. So,
Look at you, all cool.
oh, dude, I love K-pop Demon Hunters. Like I
Me
literally have a yeah,
too.
yeah, I have a poster of it behind me. But yeah, so yeah, my daughter Like this is a sidebar, but like I was completely diabolical yesterday. I bought my daughter a karaoke microphone that attaches to Bluetooth, and I unboxed it for her while we were in the shopping center. So she was going around the shopping center, and I'm like, "Mummy's in that shop there. Go see Mummy." And she's going and singing "Golden" from K-pop Demon Hunters at the top of her voice into this karaoke microphone. Well, it
Peeking
was the
around the corner.
best. Yeah, it was the best. Like, it was embarrassing for my wife, but it was absolutely top tier for me. And my daughter has no shame. And then we took her to a hair braiding place, and we got her done the purple hair from,
The braid.
yeah, the braid from Rumi from K-pop Demon Hunters. Bailey, you're shaking your head. You're not a K-pop Demon Hunters fan?
No, that's not that I'm not. I just
Uh-huh.
haven't seen it.
How
Oh
have you
my
not seen
God.
it? It's been everywhere. It's like the little frog that
I
says like, or the
know.
lizard. Have you not? How have
Okay.
you not seen that?
Okay, to be fair, I started writing my book about 2 weeks ago, and literally any free time that I get is, like, in my laptop writing. So I haven't hardly like, I took a Parks and Rec break with my husband, like, a couple of days ago just to
Mm.
decompress with him. So my head has literally been ostriched into the sand these past few weeks. So I apologize for my indiscretion to the human race and not having watched K-pop Demon
Yeah.
Hunters yet.
If you have time to post content on LinkedIn, you have time to watch K-pop Demon Hunters, mate.
Yeah, it's like 60, 70 minutes. It's not very long either.
It's the
Got me.
best.
You got me.
It's the best. Get into it. If anything, like I'll set you the task to go and learn the dances from K-pop Demon Hunters so that we can do them live on the next
Oh,
podcast.
what
Or we can do
what
it on TikTok. I mean, you're an influencer, so we could do it on TikTok if you want.
no, don't.
She said no. No, thank you.
Not a chance. Anyway, the supergroup. So, Shiny Hunters, Scattered Spider, and the remnants, I guess they call it, of Lapsus, creating probably better workflows than most of the companies I've worked with or worked for. Essentially saying that they are the new, I guess, conglomerate, like the Dark Avengers, or what do you call them, Bailey? The Thunderbolts.
They're
So,
the
like,
Thunderbolts.
yeah, basically combining to, they'd obviously had the Salesforce stuff. They've probably, I think they were attributed to, Qantas and a bunch of other things, but, taking at least two of the biggest ones, and then now they're basically coming out with their own ransomware as a service called Shiny Spider. Think that the dynamic in the landscape is going to change significantly in the next couple of months for cybersecurity, particularly SOC analysts, particularly for threat intelligence analysts. Pen testers and stuff like that are going to be called upon a little bit more to make sure that things are a little bit more robust, a little bit more locked down. But I think, in all honesty, this is an interesting take, I suppose, because I don't think we've really had that before. It's always been kind of like siloed companies doing, this and that. We're going from, threat actor to threat actor. This one uses this TTP. This one uses this, tool. This one uses this, methodology. And this is the industry that these ones go after and those ones go after. And now it's essentially going to be like, no, it's like an umbrella and nobody's safe, right?
Right, right. And also I've heard that they have been so they started their own Telegram chat just dogging on Intel Broker and like people like Intel Broker. Like, and these are like veterans in the community and they have taken like full force Gen Z stance against like a lot of these already established people in like the like
Yeah.
threat community, and they're just like ragging on these people. And I think it's hilarious. Jen Funk and I have started calling them the AP teens because so I mean, how does that affect a job like yours, Stacey? Do you work with a lot of like threat intelligence and stuff internally? I mean, are you guys seeing it at all?
Luckily we're pretty insulated, and then, but I mean, we have a pretty overpowered threat research team, that helps keep us stay abreast of the latest. But it's still terrifying, and it's never fun to read, and I don't know. Like, I understand it's interesting from a threat intelligence perspective to see these groups merge together, but as an analyst, it's like terrifying. You leave our IT desks, you leave our, our help desk alone. because all it takes, right, is just it just takes one time of not being on your game, of not following procedure, of not, verifying who you're talking to or asking them for, identification to cause potentially a trickle effect.
Right.
100%. I mean, like it kind of goes back to that old saying that I think some boomer said sometime, Bailey. Just but it was like we have to be successful as defenders every single time. They only have to be successful once.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean,
Yeah.
like it was, I actually don't know who said that. Sorry if you're not a boomer, but yeah. But I saw it on LinkedIn and I was like, that's so true, to be honest. Like you spend so much time every single day making sure that you're doing the right thing, and it just takes essentially one mistake. And it's funny that you mentioned the help desk, obviously, with phishing being like one of their initial entry points and everything like that. But I mean, like their flow, like, one of them is taking care of initial access, the next one is taking care of ransomware, and
Yeah.
another one is taking care of data exfil. Like it is something that I think most organizations are going to struggle to deal with, but at the same time, I think that it's not going to be specific industries anymore. It's going to be kind of just whoever they feel like they want to go after, like, back in like the anonymous days, right? Where they just kind of went after whoever they felt like going after at that particular time, obviously. So, and I think, like, as you said, Bailey, like when they're just basically talking trash about other people, like the stuff that I was saying, like Dragon Force and Lockbit is like nothing compared to what Shiny Spider is going to be. Like basically buy our ransomware as a service, we're better. Like, maybe they are, and maybe that's a warning, and we should be paying attention.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just booked my flights to Australia for CyberCon and I purposely didn't book them with Qantas just because of all of the stuff. And I think it's like stuff like that, that like to tie back to like the threat group piece is like it not only affects your customer base, but it affects your future customer base. Like, oh, well, that group didn't do what, like they didn't protect their data. Why would they protect my data? And that's not the case. When we're in the cyber community, we know, like, I mean, like you just said, it only takes one time. But when you're not in a tech community, like the outward perception of like, oh, I'm not going to do that. When CrowdStrike went down, for example, everybody was like, oh my gosh, like it affected everything. And they had like serious like stock cuts and stuff. And so it only takes like, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, like cybersecurity will touch you at some point if you're not careful. Um,
100%.
so yeah,
And the
yeah.
Qantas one was interesting, and it's funny that you say that, Bailey, because like Qantas, like, because I'm a Qantas frequent flyer, so I'm a member of their program. And I always like found it like really interesting that the only thing I needed to log in with to access my account was my Qantas frequent flyer number, which you can see on my bags most of the time because it's on my card and everything like that. And it's on the tickets. You could see it while I'm walking around on my ticket, whatever, right? Most airline companies do that. My last name and a 4 to 8 digit PIN code.
Oh, that's really weird.
That's all I need. That's still, even after the breach, all I need to log into my frequent flyer account. So,
Fascinating.
yeah, and it's kind of terrifying because you can save your credit card, you can save everything in there, right? So, um, not saying that there's not other things that they have to monitor that, but I mean, like, I guess evidence would be to the contrary of that. But I think, that these companies, particularly how big they are, they should definitely be doing better to preserve future customers because, like, um, like they obviously didn't forecast that one of the biggest cyber influencers in the US was going to be flying their service, and they've lost that customer.
Is this literally like this is the only thing that I'm going to be known as after this podcast? Like this season of the podcast, it's just that, like
Yeah,
tainted.
the influencer, but it's true. But like because you're a future customer and you're taking that into consideration. So all organizations need to be aware of that. That a cyber breach or whatever, it can lead to mistrust for future customers. Like it's and the thing that surprised a lot of people here in Australia is that, like we had obviously Optus and Medibank and the bigger ones before that, who probably didn't have at the time mature cybersecurity capabilities. But Qantas is like, for us here, we see lots of advertising for security roles. We know lots of people that work at Qantas. We know lots of security people. They have security operations center. They have an offensive security team. They have all of these things, but they still weren't immune.
Right, right. Well, speaking of travel, it's like hugely conference season right now. I don't know when it starts, like July or June or whatever. Um, but I've got a lot of conferences that I'm going to. I'm actually going to one in Augusta next week. But Stacey, you just came back from DEFCON. This wasn't your first time going, was it?
It wasn't, but it felt like it was. So like I went the first year I broke into cyber, I went and it was really cool and exciting. And luckily I had a friend that was going. So I kind of just like latched onto him and he like introduced me to people and took me to cool parties. And so that was my first experience. And then like I was like, okay, it's cool, whatever. And then I got invited to speak on a panel, a threat hunting panel in Blue Team Village this year. And I was like, okay, of course I got to go. Like this is something you say yes to when you get asked to speak at this. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and not thinking like too much of it, but oh my gosh, like shame on me because it was a blast. And then I think the coolest part honestly was connecting with so many people that like you've watched their YouTube videos or you talk to on X or just colleagues that you only see video, and then to like see them in person and touch them and like laugh and just dork out over stupid things like Hacker Jeopardy, trading stickers, going to the different villages. I mean, I had a blast, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I've been missing out on like conferences and kind of like not dismissing them, but not like, I don't know, not really seeking them out and engaging because I loved it. Like I'm already planning, like I'm going next year. I want to go. I want to go every year now. I am in it.
I had a hotel room booked for DEF CON this year, and I was gonna go with my husband. And then CyberCon came up, and I was traveling already for a lot of other like conferences and stuff for work
Mhm.
from between like August and September and October. And I was like, okay, like I need to step back from, I have to say no to some things. I need to step back from something, and I can't say no to the work stuff. And obviously I'm a keynote speaker at CyberCon. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to DEF CON this year, but I'm definitely going to go next year, so long as, conference season is a little bit more relaxed for me. But I did teach at Black Hat last year, and that was a lot of fun. I didn't get to stick around for DEF CON, kind of the same reasons. Like I wanted to get back home
Mhm.
and see my family. I was gone over the weekend, and I left my poor husband with my two kids, so I needed to get back and give him a break. But I want to go. I had a little bit of FOMO from all of the pictures that I saw, and everybody's like getting together and stuff, and I was like, oh well, that sucks. Chris,
Yeah.
you
Oh
need
my
to go
god.
next year too.
I'll be there next year. I'll be going next year for the whole lot, and then I'll probably do a little bit of like stop around. So like I'll go to some different areas. So if there's anything else you guys have planned or anything where you want me to come and hang out or do a presentation or some training or something, happy to do it.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
fun. I'm
Yeah,
definitely
Stacy's
keen to
gonna
do
be
it.
there already. She said that she's booking her hotels
Just
last week.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Just camping out. No, I think it's just so cool. And it's like, there's the variety of different talks, but honestly, like I thought I was gonna go to more talks than I actually did. I think I went to like three maybe. And I spent the rest of the time just interacting with like cool people doing interesting things. And I mean, honestly, again, it kind of filled my cup. I didn't know that I needed my cup filled. I thought my cup was already pretty full, but then I went and I was like, this is fun. But to your point, Bailey, I totally understand needing I don't travel for work. I get to work from home, and so my commute is like a walk down the hallway, if that. But I will say coming back, I was exhausted. And like last night I went to bed like at 8 o'clock. I was just like dead to the world. I'm like still kind of recovering, and I'm not like a heavy drinker, or I'm not like a super wild or anything. But I was just like trying to recover still.
Social battery
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess
drained.
so.
Yeah.
Right?
I
yeah,
mean, like,
yeah.
yeah, friends. Yeah, that must be fun. Um, but no, I'll be there next year. It'll be pretty cool. But I think like that's the thing that is kind of the catch with conferences, right? And that I took a break from them for so long because I spent so much money going to conferences, and I was like, why? Like, I don't really learn anything. I'm not really going to talks. I'm paying like $1,500 to go and hang out with people, like at the coffee cart. Like, I could just literally just call these people and be like, hey, do you want to go for a coffee? And we
It's
just go to a cafe.
different.
Like, it is different. It is different because you're not going to get all those people in the same room at
Yeah.
the same time at that one time and have like massive amounts of banter. But like, I think, yeah, I did kind of feel like at one point I was just literally paying conference organizations to hang out with colleagues.
See, you do have friends. You're just paying $1,500 to spend an hour with them.
Yeah,
Expensive friends.
exactly. Exactly.
Expensive.
Yeah, and I
Oh my
mean, like, yeah, and it's they can't really get away either because like we're in the same location for 3 days. Where are you gonna go? I'll find you.
Can't
God.
escape.
Yeah,
No.
I'll be that guy that's still following behind you, talking about what I'm doing on the weekend.
Hey guys, where are we going?
Yeah, just standing there awkwardly, like a meter away, pretending I'm still part of the group, but I'm not. So like if anybody sees me, I look like I'm popular.
Stacey, who is like the coolest person that you were the most excited to meet that you hadn't met before? Like not like in person, like who did you get to see or meet that like you hadn't met before?
Oh, that's such an unfair question because I think it goes like
Wow.
there's like tiers, right? Like of course it's cool to like meet people that like you've watched YouTube videos about.
Yeah.
But the reality was it was super cool to finally get to like hang out with former colleagues and people I've been in like late night in the sock with and are just like crashing out over like whatever this incident is and just it was really cool to just like, reminisce about old times or I think that was the biggest thing. Like I saw the person who trained me in fishing and, one of the analysts I did night shift with and another analyst that I actually started in the SOC with. And so I think that was honestly my favorite because there's already that like familiarity and there's already that friendship there. And then you just get to hang out in person, which is like a long time coming because like a lot of these people I've never seen in person, as weird as that sounds.
That's such a wholesome answer. Good good choice not to
That's
call anybody out there like,
Yes.
"Yeah, it was really exciting to meet this one person." Got their
yeah.
autograph and everything.
Yeah. Which I'm hoping that we can do with you, Bailey, at CyberCon, right?
No, I'm not doing a meet and greet. I'm not doing an autograph. I'll give you
You
a
gotta
high
Because,
you gotta
five.
you gotta print out your own picture and be like and have them sign them and hand them out.
dude,
I'm gonna
I'm not
give
gonna
people
lie.
buttons with my face on them.
That
Yeah.
you should. I met Erin Brockovich at CyberCon. She was a keynote speaker one
Oh
year when I
wow.
went there. I got a photo with her, and she signed my photo and stuff. So I'm hoping to get my Bailey Marshall photo and get it signed. The security Rex, like right across the front.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
but yeah, like you
No.
do have big because she was a keynote speaker. So was Steve Wozniak, and then now you're joining
Oh
the
wow.
ranks. You know.
Yeah, big shoes to fill. So yeah, no pressure or anything.
Yeah. So, but they might ask you to stay around and do a meet and greet. That'll be funny. Yeah, because I'll be laughing because I'll be like, she doesn't want to do that, but this is hilarious. But we are going to be doing, I think, a Blackbox Diaries episode down there while we're there. So we'll do it, bringing people along. And if we're all going to be at DEFCON and Black Hat next year, we'll do another one. And Stacey, you can
Yeah.
join us for that live.
Yeah. I'm going. I'll be there.
Heck
I'll bring you.
yeah.
I just designed Blackbox Diaries soccer jerseys with our names and companies and stuff
Hey,
on them.
that's
So
pretty cool.
I'll bring you one with your name on it next year for
Perfect.
sure. Oh, or I'll give it to Bailey to take back to the US and send it to you. So when
I'm
she
in
comes down
Augusta
to
all the time. So
yeah, so
um
I'll get one made for you and she can bring it back and deliver it. But I do have a question because I think we are getting to the end of time of the episode. But if you could give, let's say 3 tips to people who want to start in cybersecurity but are maybe intimidated or scared or not sure where to, what would they be?
Oh wow. First of all, you can't be scared. I think right now the job market is brutal, so you have to be wanting this in your sleep right now because there's just I mean the reality is with the rise of AI, jobs are kind of disappearing and maybe joining together because of all these companies touting how great AI is and companies believing it. And so, like, jobs are kind of like shrinking, I feel like. So, if you want to break into cyber, I feel like, unfortunately, the truth is it's extremely hard right now. So, you have to be ready to say yes to everything, to be fearless, to believe in yourself, and just like plow ahead despite what anyone else says. Because I think if you're not resilient, if you don't have that drive, if you have some kind of doubt, I mean, just unfortunately, just the way the market is right now, I mean, people can sniff that out and you will get
Mm,
trampled over. So, I mean, as much as I would like to say, just believe in yourself, I think right now you need to like battle down, like, and put on your armor and get ready for battle, because it is a battlefield right now to get into cyber. But the caveat is
mm.
it's so worth it. It's so amazing. We do important work. It's so much fun. It's hard, but it's rewarding. There's so many different areas where you can grow and lean into and learn from. I mean, it is just a industry that, I mean, is endless, and it's good. It truly is. So I think it's worth it, but I definitely will say that it's hard. And so you're definitely going to have your work cut out for you. Um, but it's a blast. There's not a day I regret going into this industry. This has been life-changing for the better. Like, I was telling a former founder of mine that, like, my dreams are dreams that I didn't even have. Like, I didn't even know I could do the stuff that I'm doing. Like, one of the things that pivoting into cyber has allowed me to do is I have my own home now. I've gone to Japan. Like, I have this confidence that, you know, I can, I'm like proof that it can be done. Like, like, I broke in when I was in my 30s. I was divorced. I was a mom. Like, and here I am, like, living a life I couldn't even dream for myself. So, I mean, I love this industry. And so I can't say enough good things about it, but it's hard. Definitely is hard.
Yeah, like
That was
those people who
beautiful.
who used to walk down the street because they train martial arts. Like, yeah, you can't mess with me because I'm a weapon. Now you walk down the street like, do you know how fast I could drain your bank account if I wanted to, dude? Yeah, I got you, man. Like, don't mess with me. What what's your hot tip, Bailey? What do you think is your one takeaway that if somebody wants to break in to cyber?
Oh, yeah, it's probably pretty similar, so maybe to not go off of the one that Stacy said, because I've always loved to be everybody's biggest pain in the ass when it comes to people telling, like, "You can't do that." I'm like, "Let me show you." Um, yeah, and it is truly a bloodbath of the industry right now. But also, like, I do see a lot of people giving up really easily. It's like, "Oh, well, I can't do this," or "I didn't get this cert," or "I can't pass this cert," or, "I'm not working for," everybody's applying for Meta, or, pick your big technology company. Look for small businesses. Um, as small businesses are willing to take a chance on more entry level people and are willing to do a little bit more, job growth. I always tell this to people that are like, "Oh, I haven't found a job." It's like, well, where are you looking for? Like, where are the jobs that you're looking? Are you looking at like an Amazon, or are you looking at, the taco shop down the road, that is sells all of the taco stuff, and now they have a sock? Like, I know that's such a silly thing, but my brain isn't braining tonight. But, like, yeah, I mean, like,
Wow.
the smaller, like, organizations, they're comfy. Like, they're comfortable to get into and to get some experience in, but they're also small enough that they're like, "Okay, like, we'll take a chance on this." Like, because they get it, because they just started out too, and they probably see a lot of the issues in the industry as well. So, I mean, that would be my advice.
Yeah, I think I probably I'll just throw 2 cents in. I have two, I guess, observations about it. If you want to break into cybersecurity, there is a lot of people who want to break into cybersecurity because they see dollar figures. So I would say one tip that I give a lot of people who ask me how to break into cybersecurity and what their expectations are is humble your paycheck, humble your salary, because if you're entering, you are starting again, and to come in, I've had people who have applied for jobs and things like that straight out of university, and they've asked for like $250,000. I'm like, dude, you just graduated. You just graduated. They're
Whoa.
like, oh, but in my experience, I'm like, what, the whole 3 years of it, of studying? I mean, so yeah, like
Wow.
be prepared to go backwards a little bit. Like you can't expect to go into an industry like that's new, that you don't have the experience, you don't have everything in there, and expect to maybe, let's say hypothetically you're a lawyer on a big lawyer salary. You're not going to go across on a big cybersecurity salary. I mean, maybe unless you're doing cyber law, I suppose. But anyway, you're not going to go and be a SOC analyst on the same price of what you're paying or getting paid as a lawyer, right? But the biggest piece of advice that I'll give is, it kind of touches on what you said, Bailey, is people give up and they fall back. You become more successful, and this is a controversial opinion because a lot of people don't like it when I suggest it. You can become more successful if you don't give yourself an option of failure and fallback. A lot of people say like, oh, I'm going to move to cybersecurity, and they have options. Like they could go back to what their previous job was, or they could go back to this, or they could go back to that. Make it the only option. And it's the same thing I say to people who want to start a business or they want to start a cybersecurity firm or do that. Like make it your only option. Like literally your success pays your mortgage, or your success does this. Your success is your life. Make it that. And then you won't give up, and then you'll push it. And it might be harder at the start, but you'll thank your future self.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Stacey, for coming on our podcast. And I realized that I'm such a dork, and since my brain wasn't braining, I didn't even say your last name at the very beginning. So
Or just then either.
this is
It's
Stacey, our friend.
Lokey-Day. It's okay.
Everybody knows Stacey. Yes. So go follow Stacey Lokey-Day on LinkedIn. Do you have any other socials you want to plug, or any other like lasting comments that you want to say?
Yeah, I think, if you want to follow me, I'm most active on X right now, which is kind of controversial. I can get some people, if you don't like X, people really don't like X. But I stay in my little bubble on X, and I happen to really like it. So I'm on there a good bit. And wow, parting words. I don't know. Continue to chase opportunities and to invest in yourself. You're definitely worth it. And yeah, I'm rooting for you.
This has been such a cool. I've loved to hear your journey. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Chris, any final thoughts?
Always, but in honesty, that was a really cool catch up. Like your personality is bubbly, and I really appreciated having it on the podcast. I can put a really good vibe, a good energy. So I'm all about it. And I think like the people coming to join the cybersecurity industry with your drive and your passion and your personality, like the future is bright for our industry.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was really nice. Thank you.
We can be nice on here sometimes.
Sometimes,
Not to
not to each other.
but-
Yeah, there we go.
Well, I'll drop Stacey's information in the YouTube links, and go ahead and check her out if you're listening on Spotify. But thank you so much for tuning in to season 3, episode 3 of the Blackbox Diaries, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.